Alright, Aaron, welcome to your second swing analysis video. Your old one is on the left, your newest one's on the right. So we're going to start with a refresh of the old one, the problems that you were having. And right off the bat, we can see one problem is your stride goes from already too big to much too big. And that stride is happening, basically you're not really striding with your body because you weren't really stacked that well back here 60-40. You were basically just totally balancing on one leg. Anyway, so it goes from too wide to too much too wide and stiffened out. See how your leg is already locked out like we talked about? Your leg is already spent. So when your leg locks out like that, it's going to definitely prevent you from being able to crank your hips. And it's going to cause what we talked about. Sorry about that. What we talked about was the hip slide that was going on because of that, where your hip should be stopping like right here when that leg plants, and then your hip should be taken over at that point. So what was going on was, since you were stepping way too wide with that already straightened leg, that was causing slide. Anyway, that's a refresh. Let's go back to the newer one on the right side. You've narrowed your stance up a little bit. I might like to even see that get a little narrower so you've got somewhere to go. And the other thing I wanted to show you too is I want you to really focus on this little hitch that you have with your bat. When you go to start your swing, you pump down and then start to go. See that? Pump down and start to go. And why that's happening is because we're going to go back here a little bit. I'm going to draw the line. You're still having a little bit of problem with drooping down. So pitch is on the way. Rather than staying tall, planting the foot and starting to crank with the hips, you're drooping, and it's causing you to fall backwards. You can see clearly that you're just falling backwards. Your hips really aren't doing too much at all here. Watch, focus on your hips. It's a step, and it's still a slide with a backwards fall. So you were hitting it pretty well. I think you can hit it even better if you can clean that up by staying tall. Don't allow this to drop down. Just stay tall, get the leg down, start cranking away. And I definitely want to see you get off that little hitch. And another way that it can help you get off of this little hitch in your swing right here is by relaxing the bat. Just lay that bat. Just basically get those arms back. Remember how I'm always reminding you to get your bat back, because you tend to want to pull it forward, and then you have to kind of go back to start. So get that bat back and drape it over your shoulder. I should see it more like, it should look more like this, and it should just be nice and relaxed on your shoulder. So that way you're not tempted to lunge after it or to slide. So going forward, you want to eliminate this fall back. Stay tall. Make sure you got somewhere to go with that hip. You're locking it out again still. See that? You're basically, your left leg, it's basically spent. You got to keep some flex in it so that you got somewhere to go. Otherwise, when you stiffen it out early, it restricts your belt big time, and then you start to fall backwards. So work on those things, and you should be in good shape. See how it's still kind of an effort for you to finish a little bit? That's because you're leaning so far backwards. And see, your hips are wanting to stop, or else you'd be in pain. That's why your hips are wanting to stop. You should be able to keep rotating through. So work on those things.